please write transformations. We've done, everybody get a sheet, we've done transformations since the time you were in maybe even 5th grade. Basically, transformations, children, are how shapes move. And there are 3 ways that they move. We're going to look at all 3 today. They are what? Remember what they were? Michael, one of them is a, yeah, we call that a translation, which is a fancy word for slide. We have a, Jacob, a rotation, which is a spin, or turn, if you will. And the last one is a, Michael?
Reflection.
Right, reflection, which is like a mirror image. Okay. We're going to get very specific about these. We're actually going to do them on a coordinate system, so they get to be very exact. Okay. So this first one, take a look on your piece of paper there where it says, this is a reflection across the x-axis. Okay. The first thing, if it's a reflection, you need to understand what it's being reflected on. And that tells you the x-axis. So let's go ahead and label that x-axis. Here's the x-axis. So put a little, I think I need to recalibrate here. Make a dashed line on that x-axis so that you know exactly what the reflection is, or where it's going to shoot from. Okay? So, let me blow this up a little bit if I can. I can't. Okay, so here's my reflection. This is what you should have here. Here's the x-axis, so right on here, this whole shape is basically getting folded up and redrawn over here. Okay, so here's what you think about. Okay, wherever a point falls below that line or on the opposite side, it's going to be the equal distance on the same place on the opposite side of the line. In other words, this point L is right here on this line, and it's 1 unit away from that axis of reflection. So it's going to be 1 unit away on going the other direction right here. And you need to label that. And in math, since that point coincides with point L here, what we do is we call this new point L, but with a little apostrophe up there that we call L prime. The new point is L prime. It is 1 unit opposite direction of the axis of reflection. Okay, if I'm looking for where x prime will be, x prime, okay, here's straight down from here, is how many units away from that y-axis? 1, 2, 3, 4. So you go 4 in the opposite direction and put a point right there. That ends up being x prime. Okay, that's this point reflected on that axis. And then H, okay, letter H comes straight down right here. How many units from the axis of reflection is it? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So you go up 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Right there will be H prime. And the reason you brought your ruler is so that you can connect those dots and get the nice reflection about that axis there. Okay. Now, just for fun, what if I said reflect this, reflect it across where y equals 1. If I said to reflect it across where y equals 1, okay, Well, no, I'd actually have to say that, I'm sorry. Well, let's just say across the y-axis. Let's not confuse you too far here. If I were doing it about the y-axis, it'd be the same thing, except this is my axis of reflection, and I would do the same thing. Where is this point? Where would this new point be here for L? Right where it's at, right? Because it's 0 units away from the y-axis. So it would stay right where it's at. Letter X is 1, 2, 3 units away, so you go 1, 2, 3 in the opposite direction. That would be X prime prime, we'll label it double prime. Letter H is how many units away from that y-axis? Just 1, so you go 1 the opposite direction. So there's my H prime prime. So now I have this point, this point, this point, and connect those. And that is reflected about the y-axis. Kind of get the reflections there. Reflections, rotations are probably the hardest. So let's look at number 2. Rotation of 180 degrees about the origin. Okay. First of all, where, Sammy, is the origin? 0. Right at 0, 0. And here's what you have to think about this. If I ask you to turn 180 degrees, what are you doing? If I have a 180 degree angle, what's it look like? It looks like this, right? You got this point, and then 180 degrees forms a straight line. Same thing with this. When you have this, you have to think about it like this. Take the point, draw it to the origin, okay? This line, to find where this new point I is, you have to continue on 180 degrees. In other words, you're making a straight line in the exact opposite direction, that same amount of units. So this line is going to be drawn straight. You probably should, let me get a straight line, because you have a ruler. I will do it in a straight line fashion here. Okay. Here is, what color can I use? Let's go with this yellow line. So here's my straight line that goes through the origin. If you can see that. Maybe you can't. Can you see that? Then we shall change colors. Let's go blue. Okay. This point here gets turned all the way down to where this point matches down here on the same place, which mine's a little bit off. But it's going to be, what is it? 1, 2, it's going to be right, I think right here. But my thing missed because I wasn't exactly on the point here. It's going to be right here. I need to turn my line just a little bit because it didn't go through the right points. See how I missed the origin, and I missed this letter I. So here is this point right here. Sorry. That point right there. Why can't I get the right color? This is point I prime. Okay. Point M prime, take a look. Oh, well, no wonder things got all goofy on me. This line looks as dark to me. Gosh. Now I really am in trouble. Hold on. That's what the undo button is. Sorry about that.
You don't have my paper?
You shouldn't be drawing in pencil. It would help if I used the right origin. Let's go here, origin. Sorry. Wait, is this it? Where's the origin?
Right there, in the middle.
Sorry, this line looks as dark to me. Okay, so here's my straight line here. 180 degrees makes that line continue on to right here. So there's I prime. That actually makes it look a little better. Okay. Here is line M. Line M going to the origin, continuing on a straight line, puts you right here. So there is M prime. Are you with me there? point X, I really should be doing different colors here. If you think about a straight line going from X to the origin, and then that straight line continuing on, that's why you have your rulers, all the way across here, what is it? It is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 1, 2, 3, 4. It's going to go right here, because that straight line will end up right there. That is X prime. These are the hardest ones. And then this B right here, drawn to the origin, it's going to keep going on in that straight line, and it's going to go all the way loop. And really what you need to do is count 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 4. Just go the opposite direction. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. I think I missed it just a little bit right there. 4. That should be my straight line there. Once you have the points labeled, you can't go wrong because you just connect them. And your line should be light than mine. And that is that thing. If you took it and spun the piece of paper 180 degrees, that's how this whole thing would have ended up. And I should have probably done it in lighter things. And I'll do another example in a bit for you so you can kind of get it. Actually, maybe we'll do it going 90 degrees and see if we can get it. But we won't do it now. We'll do another one later. I should have done lighter lines maybe. That would have helped you. Problem number 3, which that's not. Translations are probably the easiest ones to do. Rotations are the hardest. Reflections are second harder, second easiest. Translations just, it gives you the directions in what you do. You just go from every point, you go 1 unit right and 2 units up. Okay? And it doesn't matter the order you do, you can go one first or the other first, doesn't matter. 1 unit to the right. So here's J. 1 unit to the right puts you here. 2 units up from that point goes right here. 1 unit right, 2 units up. There is J prime. Letter I. 1 unit right, 2 units up, puts you right there for I prime. Letter C. 1 unit right, 2 units up, puts you right here. Letter K. 1 unit right, 2 units up, puts you right there. That's K prime. And then you just take your ruler, connect the dots. This is by far easier than any of the other ones. Okay, rotation is going to be tough. Rotation just takes a little while. Okay. So you got the translation? All right, let's go back to problem number 4. Now on this one, they don't give you the starting shape, so you need to draw it. Okay, so we got to draw the shape right here. Start with -4, -1, -4, -1, and label that as point W. Point N is -2, 3, -2, 1, 2, 3. That's point N. And point C is 0, -1. I'm going to get a straight line here. So this is the shape I'm starting with. Got it? Got me there. You got to have those points. I hope that doesn't confuse you, because that's just points, rectangular coordinate points. -4, -1. -2, +3, 0, -1. Now, what am I reflecting across? What am I reflecting across? Y equals -1. Where, what does that mean? Well, where is y -1? Look at the y-axis. It's -1 right here. Okay? That means you're reflecting across this, because every point, when you go across like this, y is always -1 there. -1 here, -1 there, -1 there. This is your axis of reflection. because that's where y equals -1. If it would have said x is 1, then where x is 1, x's go up and down, y's go across. All y's will be parallel to the x-axis. That gets a little confusing, but that's the way it works. All x's are parallel to the y-axis. So, you are again thinking about, first of all, point W. How far away is point W from the axis of reflection? It's right on top of it, so it's going to stay on top of it. It doesn't move. W prime is going to be right there as well, as is whatever point this was.
C.
C is going to be that, C prime are going to be there because they're already on the axis of reflection. Now, point N is 1, 2, 3, 4, this way above it, so its reflection is going to be 1, 2, 3, 4 below it, and N prime is going to be right there. So your new shape is going to be, share a same side as the old shape, but then it's going to go down to here and across here. That is the reflection around where y equals -1. Yes, Michael? Exciting? Let's try a hard one. What do we got here? Again, this one's about the origin. We are going to reflect the shape -4, 2. 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, -4, 2 is right here, correct? 0, 5, 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I've got this shape right here. Which is what? This is the letter V, this is the letter Z, and then the letter A is right here. So you should start with this shape. You should start with this right here. Okay. I am rotating it again about the origin, so you have to think about it like this. It's like I took this piece of paper, I stuck a pin in there, and then I spun the paper a whole half of a turn. Where are the things going to end up? Well, like I said, think about the line going up here. This is going to go 180 degrees or make a straight line in the exact opposite direction. So it's going to make a straight line going down to here. This is going to be y prime because it's like a straight line going down.
There's no
I'm sorry, C prime. And the same thing with V. Let me draw a little, I'm putting a lighter line here. Okay, V starts here, going through the origins. Sorry, there's a line here. No, I'm gonna get out of there. I want a line starting at V, going through the origin. That shape is going to be reflected or rotated right there. Move it up a little bit. I'm down just a touch. See, that thing is going to go 180 degrees all the way to the opposite end over there. Which means this. If this is 1, 2, 3, 4, and 2, it's going to be 1, 2, 3, 4, and 2. It's going to end up right there, even though my line didn't cross through there because it's off a little bit. You're going to end up right here. That is B prime on that straight line there. And where is A prime going to be? Right where it's at because it already is on the origin. It's the point where it's getting rotated about. So when you do the rotation, it's going to end up looking just like this. Poof. Poof. See how everything has rotated. Everything has rotated 180 degrees. This formed a straight 180 degrees there. This one formed 180 degrees here. And what other line? This one here. Actually, I probably could spin it there, couldn't I? Now, I'll let you do problem number 6. Go ahead and do problem number 6 for me. Get the shape drawn. Find those 3 points. Draw that shape first, and then from each one of those points, you go 2 units right and 3 units up. 2 units right and 3 units up. 2 units right and 3 units up. Got an answer?
Yep.
So if you're going 2 units right and 3 units up from C, 2 units right, 3 units up, put you right there. Here is C prime. If you go 2 units right, 3 units up from here, 2 units right, 3 units up there, that is A prime. And from letter E, if you go 2 units right and 3 units up, you get that point right there, E prime. Connecting the proverbial dots then would be this. Here, here, and here.
Yes.
How many people got that to look quite right there? Okay, and straight lines nonetheless. And straight lines. You know how to get points? Do you know how to get points? Just get the starting sheet. You can't plot them straight lines. You need to do that first before you go anywhere else. You have to get the starting sheet before we can go anywhere else. Got a little work or sheet. There is a backside. I don't know whether we'll get to it or not.
So then,
I would recommend not doing this in pen. You may have to erase something.
yeah.
Colors is always good. No.
Going on.
problems there? You could stop at. Well, let's stop at 7. There you go.
Right now.